some chick just ran out of the dude's car. Looked like her hands were tied. She ran out of the car, she couldn't help me.
And so I'm running and I'm stumbling through this parking lot. I could hear him coming at me and grab me.
Valrico, Florida is a peaceful suburban town. But in March 2017, it was rocked by an unimaginable crime. Elisa Matthewson, a mother of 5, became the victim of a harrowing 55-hour ordeal orchestrated by someone she once loved, the man who vowed to protect her, her estranged husband, Trevor Summers.
He was spontaneous and charming and just seemed that he always put me first. I wanted to have this picture-perfect life.
On the early morning of March 11th, the 39-year-old made his move. Under a court-issued restraining order, he was prohibited from contacting Elisa, but Trevor had devised a plan that involved his 14-year-old daughter, Arden. Following her father's instructions, the teen left a window open in her mother's home in Valrico, allowing Trevor to enter quietly. Elisa and 2 of her children, 7-year-old Bryn and 5-year-old Grady, were asleep in her bed, unaware of what was about to happen. Suddenly, she woke to water dripping on her face. Trevor was standing over her. Startled, Bryn and Grady woke up, crying out in fear.
He looks right at them and he says, "Get back in your mother's room. Don't come out." At that point, it's full-on terror.
Without hesitation, the man pulled Elisa from the bed and dragged her into the living room, tying her up. Meanwhile, Arden and her 12-year-old brother, Landon, waited outside in Trevor's minivan. They believed their father had come to talk. But this was no ordinary conversation. At 5 a.m., Trevor gave Arden an impossible task: drive her younger siblings back to his house. Despite having no driving experience, the teen did as she was told, taking the van with her frightened brothers, including 3-year-old Cooper, who had been left alone at home during the attack. Back inside the house, Elisa remained at Trevor's mercy. For hours, he held her captive, assaulting her multiple times and threatening her life. At various points, Trevor recorded videos on her phone, documenting his presence and creating his own version of events as if to rationalize his actions.
Today is Saturday, March 11th, and I am here with Elisa at her house. I'm doing this video, just a confession for her, and so that people understand and believe what's happened in the last few months in Cairo, to keep her from contacting authorities, to give me time to get out of town, to give me some time to survive the kids, everything that I have, house, car, some funds to take care of the children. My mind literally just broke and I snapped, so I am sorry for the aggressive with her today.
By that evening, the situation escalated. The attacker forced Elisa into her SUV and drove to a Walgreens. Here, she saw her chance. As Trevor stepped inside the store, she ran barefoot and desperate, screaming for help. A Walgreens employee, alarmed by the scene, quickly dialed 911.
Near the Walgreens and Fish Hawk, and some chick just ran out of the dude's car. Looked like her hands were tied. She ran out of the car, she couldn't help me. And he just grabbed her and put her back in the car.
What's the address?
It's Walgreens and Fish Hawk. I don't know the address.
What kind of vehicle are they in?
It's a blue SUV. Looks like an Enclave. Can't be sure though.
Is it tied?
It looked like it. They trying to get the license plate. It looks like it's a dark blue SUV. Guy's bald, black shirt, jeans.
Are they still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Are they still there?
He's pulling out right now, watching what direction he goes. blue Saturn. It's not a Buick. He's heading out the back. Let me see if he goes into the neighborhood or if he's hold on a second. Okay. He headed back into the neighborhood behind Fishhawk. Give me a second. Find out what the street name is here.
Is he going towards the neighborhood right there, or was that just
Yeah, he did going into the neighborhood. He turned off the main street. But it looked like it was a blue Saturn. Did you catch that plate at all?
Yes, sir. Did he go to the left or to the right?
It's a one-way street. We're on the corner where it tees off. Give me a second to walk into the intersection.
Okay.
Sorry, I was on the other corner of the store. I was trying to get around the corner to see what direction he was headed. I'm not in as good a shape as I used to be. At the corner of Fishhawk, and she dropped a shirt. If you can just walk it back and pick it up.
No, I wouldn't. I would touch it over.
Don't touch it. I'll try to keep anyone else from touching it if you can get someone to get here.
I get up on the way, so.
We're at the corner of Fishhawk and Fishhawk Crossing. He turned into Fishhawk Ranch somewhere.
Fishhawk Ranch, okay.
Well, the big sign here at the intersection says Fishhawk Ranch. He didn't turn out to the main road. He went in towards the neighborhood.
Okay. Your name, sir?
Is that necessary?
I usually get probably any calls or that because my deputy get back in contact with you.
My name is Randy.
R-A-N-D-Y?
Yeah.
Your last name for you?
Crosby. I work here at the Walgreens, so
Okay, what's a good phone number for you in case you need to call it back?
I don't get any phone signal inside the store though, so.
Did you notice any weapons at all on him at all or anything?
I didn't, but I didn't approach him in case there was.
Okay. Alright, so I got the call in, I got that on the way out, and they'll be on the way out. They shoot it shortly, okay?
Do you have any kind of ETA?
This is one that's at Belfast and Fishhawk, so it's just not too far.
Okay.
I have another unit on the way out there for another call on the same area, so.
Okay. The shirt blanket, let me see what it is, don't touch it. It's just a blanket. That's laying here in the middle of the road. Do you want me to try to keep anyone from getting to it, or do you want me to collect it into a bag without touching it?
I say for now, just let's leave it there and kind of, make sure no one messes with it until my deputies get there, so.
Okay. I'll hang out front here, thanks.
I'll see you one.
Bye.
But Trevor was not ready to give up control. He chased her down, dragged her back to the car, and drove off before authorities could arrive. That night, Trevor drove along Tampa Bay's dark, winding roads, taking Elisa further from safety. At one desolate spot, he assaulted her again. By this point, it was the morning of March 13th when he brought her to Little Harbor, a secluded area he hoped would be their final stop. Behind a dumpster, Trevor tried to kill Elisa again. But before he could finish, something stopped him. Panicked, he bundled her into the car and fled. Hours later, the final confrontation began. Trevor attempted to take his life, but police were already closing in. They arrived just in time to save Elisa from further harm and arrested the 39-year-old, bringing a 55-hour nightmare to its long overdue end. Trevor Summers was charged with 11 counts, including attempted murder, kidnapping, sexual battery, and child neglect. In a twist of events, he represented himself in court, which meant the victims were questioned by their attacker.
Do you remember approximately what time I arrived in your home?
I was asleep.
Do you recall which window I came in?
I was asleep.
Did you recall me saying anything about calm down, it's just me?
Yes.
In your testimony, you said that you were brought down this hallway,
Yes.
and you said that was by your ankles,
Yes.
and at the same time you were kicking
Yes.
while you're being held by your ankles.
Yes.
Okay. You notice any claw marks on the walls or any lines on the carpet, Anything that would indicate that kind of a struggle?
No.
Ms. Mathewson, let's move forward in time a little bit. So you're woken up, and you say that you were drugged into the living room. Do you remember approximately how long we were in the living room?
Approximately 3 hours.
Approximately 3 hours, okay. And in that time in the living room, have you described in any prior testimony it as wrestling?
Yes.
Okay. How dark was it in that living room?
It was very dark.
Could you see my face?
As it got lighter, but at 3 a.m. I couldn't. I just knew it was you.
Okay.
The defendant spun wild stories about Elisa and their relationship leading up to that day. At his trial in August 2022, the verdict was clear: 3 life sentences plus an additional 224 years.
The testimony and evidence that I heard clearly make you a monster in every stretch of the imagination. Mr. Trevor Summers will spend the rest of his life in Florida State Prison.
Justice, though served, could not erase the scars left behind. Arden Summers, manipulated by her father into playing a role in her mother's torment, was left grappling with immense guilt. But in her victim impact statement, she shared her determination to heal, stating, "I am ready to start my journey toward peace."
To Arden, you should not feel guilty for anything that you did in this case. I assure you of that.
Following the 48 Hours documentary about the 55-hour ordeal, Elisa posted a video to YouTube criticizing the production.
There was a lot of misinformation. I do understand that it was only 42 minutes long, and trying to fit all of that into 42 minutes is very difficult. But I was unaware of the spin that they were taking and how that made my daughter look. I'm disappointed that people couldn't understand that she is diagnosed with parental alienation during that time. If people really understood how parental alienation works and how that child is then used as to weaponize that child, and it's child abuse. And had that really been addressed for my children, and had my children been protected as they should have been by the courts, then this wouldn't have happened. We all saw him represent himself in court and realizing on full display the psychopath that he is. He is a narcissist, but at the time he was such a covert narcissist, he had the judges and the police eating out of his hand. I have received so much support from people who have experienced a covert narcissist that I just wanted to thank you guys and really clarify that.
If you have information that you think can be helpful in helping us either locate Kassan Thomas, locate Nala Jackson, or even the vehicle, we want that information.
It was a routine stop that quickly became every parent's worst nightmare. On the evening of December 19th, 2022, a mother pulled into a Donato's Pizza in Columbus, Ohio to pick up a DoorDash order. Her 5-month-old twins, Kaysen and Kyer Thomas, were asleep in the back seat of her black 2010 Honda Accord. She left the car running, thinking she would be back in just a moment. But in that brief time, her world was turned upside down. A homeless woman, later identified as 24-year-old Nala Tomiko Jackson, stole the car with both babies still inside. The mother, frantic, immediately called 911, begging for help to find her children.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
Hi, I was just parked. I was parked at the Donato's Pizza. Someone just stole my car.
Okay, Donato's on First, I'm thinking.
On First Avenue and High Street, at Donato's Pizza.
Okay,
I have a Honda Accord. I have a Honda Accord. My bumper is off.
Okay, what color is your Honda?
It's a black Honda Accord.
Okay, you said it's black?
Yes. I was just right here, and all I was doing was just grabbing this pizza. I was right here. I didn't even go inside the building, and I see him get in my car.
White guy, black guy, Hispanic, Asian?
Like, he had on a mask. I didn't see him.
So a person with a mask got into it, right?
Yes.
Okay, which way did they go? Okay. How old are they?
They're 5 months. Someone stole my car. I didn't see it. It was a black car. I didn't see nothing. It's a black car with the bumper off. Oh, my God.
The front bumper is off or the back one?
The front bumper is off.
Okay, the front bumper is off. And you don't know your tag number, right?
It starts with an M. Yeah. Okay,
it's not.
Where's the police on?
Ma'am, they're on the way. I promise you. It's already been dispatched. They're coming.
Like, I'm in the beach tip. Where's the police at?
They have to drive there. I promise you they're coming.
By the early hours of December 20th, there was a breakthrough. At 4:15 a.m., a passenger at Dayton International Airport spotted one of the twins, Kyer, in a car seat in the parking lot.
Vandalia 911, where's your emergency?
Hey, this is and I'm calling from the economy lot at Dayton International Airport. And we just discovered a baby in a baby carriage in the parking lot.
Okay, and you're in the airport parking lot, right?
Yeah, we're gonna take the baby inside the terminal right now because we're.
Okay, let me get you over there. Okay, let me get you to the airport, please. Hold on 1 second for me.
Airport police. Hey, airport police. This is, and I'm in your economy lot, about 100 yards due south of the terminal. Okay. When I pulled into the lot, I met another family here. So we are now walking towards the terminal to the American Delta desk area, and I've already notified 911, which connected me to you.
Okay. You have the baby with you, or?
Yeah, me and this other family are walking right now with the baby.
Miraculously, he was unharmed, but Kaysen, along with the stolen car, was still missing. Police were in a race against time. Despite Kyer's recovery, there was a delay in issuing the Amber Alert. Columbus police tried to work quickly with the Ohio State Highway Patrol, but complications with identifying the vehicle, since it had no license plate and was recently purchased, meant the alert wasn't issued until 1:37 a.m., hours after the abduction.
If we would have seen it sooner, we could have done something, but we had no idea. I would have hit our silent alarm to alert the police and keep tabs on the woman. Picture was plastered everywhere. I saw the photo, I was like, that's that lady that came in last night, and we're all kind of beating ourselves up about it a little bit.
But there was just something about her that just didn't seem right, you know. It was kind of weird. Maybe we could have done something, and I know between James and I, we definitely would have done something if we would have known. She was more than happy to sit here and chat with us, so we could have held her here for 10 or 15 minutes while somebody snuck away and made a phone call.
Time was slipping away. In the meantime, police publicly pleaded with the suspect to return Kaysen safely. Surveillance footage revealed the stolen vehicle had briefly stopped at the Dayton Airport parking lot, but then disappeared again. No sign of Jackson. No sign of Kaysen. 2 more days passed. Then, on December 22nd, after nearly 3 days of searching, authorities finally caught up with the woman in Indianapolis, Indiana. She was arrested, but Kaysen was not with her. Just when hope seemed to be slipping away, residents Cheyenne Delmar and Mecca Curry took matters into their own hands. Following their own leads, they discovered the stolen Honda Accord parked outside a Papa John's restaurant, with Kaysen still inside. The baby was cold but alive. Against all odds, after 3 long days, Kaysen was reunited with his family.
And we are really just some mothers that were determined to find a baby and find a woman.
It started as me going to the gas station in Indianapolis because, for one, she's not even from here. She's not from Indianapolis. This happened in Ohio. She was outside the gas station selling toys. I just so happened to need some toys, and I bought some toys from her. But at the time, I did not pay attention to her. So I bought the toys from her. She asked me for a ride. I did not discover until yesterday night that I had a kidnapper in my car, and I took her down the street. I was scrolling on Facebook, and I seen a mugshot of this girl with like blonde hair, and I'm like, she looked familiar as. So I kept digging and digging and digging and digging. I reached out to so many people. I'm like, listen, I think this is the same person, just to see if somebody else would say, yeah, that's the same person. So I reached out to her.
So at this point, the baby was safe. He was found out of the car. And I was like so mad. I'm like, well, how long this car been outside? They like, it's been out there for like 4 days. Why ain't nobody reported it? But I'm so happy. It was a very joyous moment for us. And I was so happy to hear the mother's cries over the phone, and it was tears of joy. It was very beautiful.
But the family's relief would soon turn to sorrow. On January 28, 2023, just over a month after the incident, little Kyer tragically passed away at home. Preliminary reports indicated that he may have choked while being fed, though the cause of his death remains under investigation. The loss shattered the family and the community, who had just begun to heal from the trauma of the abduction. Nala Jackson now faces federal charges due to the interstate nature of her crime, which includes 2 counts of felony kidnapping. Her actions, taking a mother's car and her children, have left lasting scars on this family. For more True 911 calls, watch this episode next.